All right, ISO. ISO. T-shirt time. Before we go to ISO, T-shirt time. If I'm taking a picture and everything look exactly like I want it, as far as motion blur, depth of field, all of that, what do I need to do with my ISO if I need to let one more stop of light in? I need to let one more stop of light in. Everything look like the depth of field and the motion blur look like I want it, but it's just a little dark. I need to let one more stop of light in. What do I need to do with my ISO? One stop of light. What? But I want one stop. What exactly? I need to increase it, but I want one stop. What do I need to do? I need to. No, just the ISO. What I need to let one, double it. There you go. Large, extra large. All right, the extra large gone. Large, okay. I got a medium and a 2X left. Thank you. That's good. You was right. You increase it, but you want one stop, you double it. But you was right, increasing. But I was just looking for double it. All right. That's good though. You was paying attention, taking notes. ISO. What is the ISO? Like I told everybody last time, I ain't make this up. This is exactly what ISO means. International Organization for Standardization. That's exactly what ISO means. I ain't make that up. It's a real thing. What does it do? It don't control how much light is coming in. It controls how sensitive the sensor is to the light that's around. All right. That's what it don't control how much is coming. It's a part of the camera, but it just controls how sensitive it is to the light. Like I was talking about last time, when you wake up in the morning, it's really dark in the room. When you walk into the bathroom and turn on the light, how your eyes feel like they sting and they hurting because they really sensitive because there wasn't that much light in there. So when it's not a lot of light, your camera needs to be more sensitive. So you increase your ISO. When it's a lot of light, your camera needs to be less sensitive. So you decrease your ISO. And again, the aesthetic part of it is that it controls the noise. It like how much noise, especially in the shadows. If you look in the shadows of a picture, you will see that them dots, those little green and purple dots, right? It's also measuring stops of light, but I love the ISO because it's showing its whole numbers and they work the right way. They work the right way. So when you double the ISO, the number actually double. It go from 400 to 800. It actually double. Whereas back on the shutter speed, we talked about this last time for the people who wasn't here. Like on the shutter speed, when you double the shutter speed, your number actually getting smaller. Like you go from 500 to 250. You just doubled it, but the number getting smaller because you're doubling the amount of time it's staying open. It's going slower. It's staying open double the amount of time. And when you cut it in half, your number getting bigger because it's a fraction. And everybody know the way fractions work. The bigger the number is on the denominator, the smaller that number actually is. So it's like a smaller amount of time it's staying open. But with the ISO, when you double it, it doubles. And when you cut it in half, it cuts in half. And again, on the aperture, when you double it and cut it in half, they're talking about the size and not the actual number you're looking at. So, just wrap that around your head. When you increase it or stop, you're actually doubling it, but the number is not physically doubling what you see. Okay, lower ISOs, they tend to yield cleaner images. The images tend to be cleaner with lower ISOs. And higher ISOs, they'll start to show that noise, those green and purple dots, like especially in the shadows. And most cameras these days, you don't really start to see that until, I'd say around about 3200, 6400, depending on the camera you got. It like 1600 on some cameras, but most of them do good up until around about 3200. You'll start to see it. And me, I say a shot, a noisy shot is better than no shot. Same thing with video and pictures. A noisy shot better than no shot. If you missed the shot because you ain't want to raise your ISO, you ain't got nothing to give your client. Or you ain't got nothing to remember when you look back at your kids or your nephews and nieces. You missed that moment because you didn't want to increase that ISO. Now, the ISO itself, it don't have a creative function. Like the shutter speed, you can either freeze motion or you can like let the motion be seen. With the aperture, you can make the background blurry, or you can shoot with like more stuff being focused. You have like creative control with those. This don't have a creative function, but what it does, it enables creative freedom with the aperture and the shutter speed, all right? So for the people, who was here last time and who didn't get a shirt? That was here last time. You didn't get a shirt? You was here last time. You didn't get a shirt. You didn't get a shirt last time? I didn't get a shirt. Okay, you didn't get a shirt last time? Okay. Okay. Creative freedom. Who can remember what I said I do with my ISO to enable my creative freedom with my shutter speed? Who can remember what I said? I may not something when I talk about my ISO. What do I do with my ISO when I'm shooting to give me the creative control with my shutter speed? Ben, Darryl.
I remember you saying that, but I don't remember what you said.
Okay. Yeah, this is what I do with my ISO to give me creative freedom. I typically shoot with a higher ISO than what I need, so that when I'm shooting and I need to let more light in quick, I can slow my shutter speed down. If I need to cut the light down quick, I can speed my shutter speed up. It's like that's when I'm not worried about if I'm freezing motion or slowing motion. Like I just typically shoot with a higher ISO than I need to give me the freedom to adjust quick. When I don't, and other than that, I just put the ISO on automatic and let the camera pick it and control the rest of them. But if I want to keep it I don't want it to pick an ISO that's too low, or if I want the control, I'll shoot at 1600 when I don't need it. I might be outside on a sunny day shooting at 1600 because I just want the freedom of being like the sun go behind a cloud. I just slow that shutter down. If the sun come back out, I speed that shutter back up. That's what it gives you creative control over the other ones. Same thing with the aperture. If you're an aperture person, if you're shooting in like aperture priority, or even if you're shooting in manual, and for me, the shutter speed is just quicker because it's right there on the top. It's like right there on the top where I can just, and the aperture is like on the back. I tend to have to do it with my thumb like this, and it's more comfortable just to do my thing. Matter of fact, I got my camera here. It's more comfortable just to do this than it is to try to reach back and do all this right here. It's more comfortable for me just to roll it left and right. And that's what I do. It gives you creative control to be able to adjust it quick. Now, any questions on the ISO? No questions on the ISO? Okay, what we're gonna do, we're gonna take a quick break, and then I'm gonna pull up. Oh, let me show you something. I meant to show this on the shutter speed. I can go into all of that, because we're gonna get into like the creative type stuff now, how to use it to do creative things. And then I'll just show those pictures when we come back. We're gonna take a break, let's say like 5 minutes. We're gonna take a break for 5 minutes, then we're gonna come back and get into like using them for like creative purposes.